Cottage cheese, long touted as a healthy option due to its high protein content, might seem like an appealing choice for those looking to improve their diet. But when you dive deeper into the reality of its nutritional value and the trends that glorify it, the situation becomes less clear-cut. In recent years, cottage cheese has been championed by protein enthusiasts and influencers who have made it a staple in many households. However, beneath its seemingly benign exterior, cottage cheese may not be as beneficial as it's made out to be. The surge in protein-heavy diets, especially among those looking to maintain or build muscle, has led many to latch onto foods like cottage cheese without fully understanding the negative consequences of such a fixation. The obsession with protein, especially as seen in the wave of protein-influencers across social media, has become a pervasive trend, with everything from protein shakes to protein bars flooding grocery store shelves. But when did we let the promise of muscle gain and health benefits cloud our judgment about the foods we consume? Many of these high-protein foods, including cottage cheese, have been marketed as miracle solutions for weight loss, muscle building, and overall wellness. Yet, as is often the case with trends, the reality is more complicated than the glossy advertisements suggest. Cottage cheese, despite its high protein content, is far from the health food it's often portrayed to be. Yes, it contains protein, but it also carries with it a significant amount of sodium, which can be problematic for people with high blood pressure or those trying to reduce their salt intake. Excess sodium, over time, can lead to increased risks of cardiovascular issues, kidney problems, and fluid retention. For those watching their sodium intake, cottage cheese can be a hidden culprit in their diet. It's easy to forget that something marketed as healthy can have these negative side effects if consumed in excess. Moreover, many of the protein-packed products that have flooded the market, cottage cheese included, often come with additives and preservatives that are far from natural. Cottage cheese may seem like a simple dairy product, but it often contains ingredients designed to improve its shelf life and texture. These added chemicals and artificial sweeteners may not have an immediate noticeable impact, but they accumulate in your body over time, contributing to issues like digestive disturbances, inflammation, and even long-term chronic conditions. And while the pursuit of more protein seems like a logical step for anyone interested in staying fit or building muscle, the truth is that too much protein can place strain on the kidneys and liver, particularly for those who are not regularly engaging in intense physical activity. There's also the issue of the diet's sustainability. As protein-focused diets rise in popularity, they often come with high costs. Cottage cheese, when bought in larger quantities, can add up, particularly when you factor in the increasing prices of dairy products. With inflation and supply chain issues impacting the costs of everyday groceries, the protein obsession seems increasingly unaffordable for the average person. Not to mention, the environmental impact of dairy production is significant. The production of cottage cheese involves the use of resources that contribute to greenhouse gas emissions, water consumption, and land use changes. In a world where we are becoming more aware of our environmental footprint, consuming large amounts of dairy may not be the most responsible choice. For many people, the allure of a protein-rich diet can easily turn into an obsession, leading them to ignore the broader picture of overall health. The constant pressure to consume protein, whether in the form of cottage cheese or protein bars, can lead to an unhealthy focus on macronutrients at the expense of other critical aspects of a balanced diet, such as fiber, vitamins, and healthy fats. Ironically, in the pursuit of health, many are neglecting the full spectrum of nutrients that contribute to a well-rounded, sustainable diet. The experience of those who, like the author, buy into the protein trend only to feel disappointed by the lack of taste and texture in protein-rich foods is all too common. Protein-fortified foods often taste bland or artificial, and many consumers report gastrointestinal discomfort from overconsumption of protein-heavy meals. For those attempting to maintain a balanced gut microbiome, the increased intake of processed proteins can disrupt digestion, leading to bloating, gas, and discomfort. These side effects may not be immediately alarming, but they can accumulate, leading to long-term digestive issues if the trend continues unchecked. As more people turn to protein-heavy products like cottage cheese in hopes of achieving a healthier lifestyle, they may inadvertently be doing their bodies more harm than good. The nutritional claims made by influencers and food marketers gloss over the less glamorous truth. Consuming too much protein, especially from sources that are processed or high in sodium, can have negative effects on both the body and the environment. Rather than jumping on the latest trend, it's important to take a step back and assess whether a protein-centric diet truly aligns with your long-term health goals. Ultimately, the problem with cottage cheese and other protein-dense foods lies in the way they're marketed and consumed. When consumed in moderation, cottage cheese might fit into a balanced diet. But when it becomes the cornerstone of one's nutrition, the downsides can quickly become apparent. The obsession with protein, much like other fad diets, is a dangerous cycle. It offers immediate gratification but fails to provide long-term solutions to health and well-being. Instead of blindly following the latest food craze, we should be prioritizing a more balanced, sustainable approach to eating that focuses on whole foods, variety, and true nourishment, rather than the empty promise of protein-packed quick fixes.